Okay, guys, can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me. All right, we do have some comments here. Let's go through our comments. Welcome to our study group if you're new here. All right, let's see what we got here. If somebody says they're planning on taking their exam on Friday. Well, if you're planning on taking your exam on Friday, you got a few days. Good luck. Try to stay, try not to be too nervous. Get a good night's sleep. I think you'll be okay. If you have the PrepCast mock exams and you're scoring 74, that's a pretty good score. I think you're going to be okay. 80, 80 is a very good score. Somebody else said they got their test coming up on Sunday, and they're scoring 80, 74. I think those are good scores. I think you're going to be fine. So 70s is always a good score on that. All right, what else more do we have here? 76 somebody's getting. Hey, that's pretty good. Crystal is joining us. Crystal says, "Hi Andrew, I wanted to send you a huge thank for all my videos, study tips, and the mindset process. Passed their exam on Sunday." So Crystal, congratulations to passing your exam. Make sure to eat some cake. I tell everybody that. So very good. Big accomplishment, all right? The moment you pass your exam, it's a huge weight off your shoulder. I think that's always a great thing. All right. Cameron is saying that they went from 57 to 64 in the practice questions. The more practice questions you do, the more likely your scores should be increasing. So you guys should be doing a lot of practice questions. My course, if you have my study guide, if you have my e-learning classes and all that good stuff, comes with a lot of practice questions. And then go out and get some other practice questions. It doesn't matter where you get them from. It's just get some good practice questions. And the more practice questions we do, the more accustomed we get to seeing what these things look like and testing our own knowledge. So hopefully your score does go up over time. All right, what else more do we have here? All right, somebody says here, so I attempted to take the exam from home a couple of times, but the exam session would not launch on both times. So that's probably, this is Anish, I think is the name here. What that can be is that can be something wrong with your computer. The best thing I would tell you if you have technical difficulties like that would be to actually go in there and maybe try another computer. Maybe if you have a laptop or something, you can try it on. Or try to get some tech support from Pearson VUE to see why. Could be a security setting on your computer. One of the things you always want to do is check the tech on your computer before your exam starts. By doing that, you'll be able to, the day before or so, I think you're going to be okay. Grace, taking the exam this weekend. What should I focus on in the last stretch of time? Good question, Grace. So Grace is, if you got your exam coming up in a few days, we know the exam is heavily focused on Agile. So what I would tell you guys is to go ahead and actually spend a lot of time, know your Agile process. Grace, if you have my course, you have that Agile section. Also, I'm not sure, Grace, if you have my e-learning course or you're taking a course with us where you get access to that. There is the last part of the course, there's something called the mindset. The mindset is something that you should be reviewing. So many people have told me that really helps them. So in the last part of my course, you'll see me go over something called the ECO review and the exam mindset. Spend your time reviewing that stuff. All right, somebody says here, when you get a question wrong, you should review it. Yes, if you get a question wrong on any testing engine, whether it's Mines, whether it's going to be Prepcast, wherever you're using, make sure to review your wrong answers. Tara says, can you explain the difference between procurement management and resource management? Procurement management is the management of outside help. This is going to be vendors. This is going to be suppliers, contractors is procurement management. Resource management is really the management of your internal team and the things that they're using. So it's more of management of your actual team members and the products they're using to build the product. So maybe you're managing all the coding software and the teams themselves. That's resource management. So when you think of procurement, always think of it as outside, something you're purchasing outside the project. All right, 7, no joke, 7. Is there a difference between my mock exam and PM Prepcast? Yeah, that's my exams to theirs. There is a difference. That's their stuff. This is my stuff. Taking the test tomorrow, besides sleep and brushing up on my formulas, any last words? Abby is asking me this. This is a good question. The night before your PMP exam, I think the most important thing you're going to want to do. Now, Abby, I'm not sure if you have the book, but if you have the book, just review that last section called the Mindset and the ECO review. If not, the best thing you can do is just get a good night's sleep. Concentrate on getting a good night's sleep. You should have studied a whole lot already. So a couple of hours, 12 hours before an exam or so, you should really be at 12 hours before an exam, you should really be getting a good night's sleep. That, I think, is going to be important. I'm going to do a video. By the way, I'm not sure if you guys saw, I just published a video yesterday on how to manage your time on the exam. Check the channel. Make sure you guys watch that video. It really helps to break down the time and why you should take breaks. Okay, so make sure, Abby, make sure to review that video. Your PMP Simplified book has mock exam questions. Are those the same as the Udemy? Yes, the course and the book and the Udemy are the same. All right. Hi, Andrew. I just wanted to thank you. Somebody else passed their exam. They got the books, the videos. Congratulations, Kali, Oliver. So, congratulations. Make sure to get some cake, right? Like I tell everyone. Once again, more weight off your shoulder. Congratulations. Yesterday, I was on LinkedIn yesterday for a few hours answering some questions from different folks. And man, it was like nonstop people passing. So many people are using my courseware, my books, and these YouTube sessions. They're reviewing them and they are passing their exam. It was like maybe 20, 30 people that passed their exam using my stuff. And at one point I was like, oh my God, I'm going to spend all day writing congratulations here to all these folks. But good for you. I'm always happy to see that people are passing their exam. All right. Daryl took the exam on Monday. No math. Most questions were hybrid to predictive. Moving into Agile servant leaders was 20, 30 questions. Daryl, that sounds about right. A lot of people are not getting any type of math questions. I mean, there are math questions where you have to interpret the formula, but there's really no questions where you have to actually calculate the actual data itself. So that is correct. The servant leadership, I did a video on that. Make sure you guys check that out. On the servant leadership, there's a video I call my best tip for situational questions. That's going to really, really help you a lot as you go through this, okay? All right. Somebody says here, read the Agile Practice Guide. Yes, I do recommend that, to read the Agile Practice Guide. Okay, so Krista, I'm figuring you did use my course. You're talking about you going through the mindset videos. Yes, make sure you guys do that. Okay, Diana says, I currently submitted my application, but what about a project that does not have a budget? They don't need to know that. If you don't write about it, right? So when it comes to writing the description of the project, don't write about not having a budget. Just talk more about the schedule, talk more about the scope, talk more about what the project is going to be on. So there's no need to write about the budget. Somebody says they have my e-learner to focus on the mindset. Yes, make sure you guys do that. The mindset is so many people have told me about the mindset section. That mindset section really took a long time to create. I really had to look at the content, look at the question, and look at the content of Pmbok, look at the Agile questions, taught about servant leader, look at the PMI questions that we got, because we are a PMI authorized provider. And then I came up with that mindset section, and that's helping so many people pass. Hi, Andrew. Is there a video to fill out the PMI ACP? You know what? I don't have a video for that. I only have one for the PMP so far. Maybe one day I'll sit down and write one out. Crystal said she had a questions on the MBTI. Really weird one, though. I told you guys that people are getting questions on MBTI. And that is the personality test. I did a video on that a few weeks ago. Before, if you don't know, if you're sitting here today and you have no clue what MBTI is, because I really didn't have a clue what that was myself a few months ago, people were coming and telling me, Andrew, MBTI. I'm like, what the hell is MBTI? And then I really looked into the Myers-Briggs. You guys can check out that video. I had a lot of fun making that video. Watch the video. If you don't know what it is, make sure you review it. People are getting drag and drop questions from it. People are getting multiple choice questions from it. You want to make sure that you review the MBTI section. That video, in other words. All right. Can I use 2 screens while taking the exam? I don't think so. I think it disables one of your monitor. All right. I don't think so. Not at all. Somebody's asking me, what is the difference between a retrospective and a sprint review? So a sprint review is what you do after the sprint is done. So this is going to be on an Agile project, Scrum in particular. So on a sprint review, let's say during the sprint, you made a module to create a new invoice. Let's say you make an accounting system. So a sprint review is when the team has finished that sprint. The product owner or customers and folks come in and they review the module, whatever is it that the team made. Let's say the team made a widget, for example, again. The team will come in and review that widget, whatever is it that they made. That's the sprint review. When they leave, when the customer leaves, then what happens is the team sits down and they do a retrospective. So retrospective is basically when the team review on the previous sprint, because now that the customers have left, now the team can say, okay, well, we did this right, we did this wrong. What are we going to do more of in the next sprint? What are we going to do less of in the next sprint? So retrospective is done at the end of the sprint, after the sprint review, to review what was done right and wrong. And the sprint review is just the customers reviewing the product. So somebody's asking me a really good question here. Which is better, taking the test at home or the test in site? I can't imagine why you would ever want to go to a testing center. Going to a testing center means you have to wake up and attend. You have to wake up and travel to this testing center. You have to sit in their chair. You have to have their temperature. You have to dress, I guess, a little bit better instead of just wearing a t-shirt or whatever makes you comfortable. You know what? When I'm taking an exam, I want to sit in my chair. I want to use my computer. I want to set my own temperature. I don't want to travel on the day of an exam. Why would you ever want to go to a testing center unless you don't have a quiet space? So if you have small children and there's really no way, you have a smaller apartment or something, and you can't get a nice quiet space, then I recommend to go to a testing site. But if that's not the problem, I would say take it at home or even take it at the office, right? So if you got a quiet room, maybe you can borrow a room at the office, do it there. Don't go to a testing site. Testing site is really cold. Their monitors really are small. Their keyboards are probably dirty. Their mouse probably don't work. The resolution is horrible. Believe me, I've taken over 100 certification exams. I've been to a lot of those centers, and I have never found one pleasing. Sorry, Pearson VUE and Prometric. So take it at home. That's my opinion. Unless, of course, if you can't, maybe because you don't have a quiet space, right? Sorry, I went off on that question there. Time management is huge. Daryl, yes, I have gotten. Daryl is saying time management is huge. You know what, Daryl? I got so many people that was sending me back on LinkedIn, on Udemy, and my live class. I was talking to some of our students, and I did a corporate training for a company a few weeks ago, and they all took their exams on Friday. And it was about 14 of these students, and they all passed, right? So that's great. They had me as a live instructor, and they all passed. And I was waiting for emails from them, and I knew they all took it throughout different times in the day. And almost every single one of those students told me that they finished it after 3.5 hours. So it seems like everyone is using up the entire clock. Very rarely do I have anyone finishing under 3 hours. That's what made that video yesterday. Well, I made it on Sunday. It was published yesterday, where I went over the exam timer. So make sure you guys watch the video I posted yesterday about managing your clock, managing your time. In the video, I talk about prepping your meals if you're going to be taking it home and you got your breaks. That was a tip that was given to me by quite a few of those students from last week, because you don't want to be fumbling for things. So watch that video. Make sure you guys manage your time. I can't emphasize this enough. What is the ECO review? I don't recall from your class. The ECO review is in the exam. In the e-learning course, you'll find a section that says exam content outline review. It should be right before the mindset. Wow, somebody says they took the exam. 75 were Agiles. Wow, 75%. Did you guys notice that every time we meet every week, this number gets higher and higher? 75% of your questions were Agile. That's insane. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody here, I haven't scrolled all the way down here, but I'm not going to be surprised if somebody says, hey, Andrew, it was 100% Agile. This is insane. Somebody says here, Kramer says, I bought your book. How long should you suggest I schedule the exam? It just depends on you, on how long you can get through the material. Some people get through this material very quickly. Most of my students take it within, just to give you an idea, anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks. Never really much longer than 6 weeks. If you watch some of the earlier sections in this course, I always tell people that it's about 100 hours worth of study time. So you go through a 30. So if you have my book, it comes with the e-learning class. That's going to give you 35 hours. You got to sit there. It's 35 hours of literal video content. So that'll take you 35 hours. Then you got to do all those practice questions in there. You're talking 45, 50 hours worth of content, then a lot of review. And that puts you to about 75 to 100 hours worth of study time. So when somebody says to me, hey, Andrew, when should I take my exam? I say, well, think about this. If I tell you have 100 hours of study time and you're going to study 4 hours a day, then it's going to take you 25 days to study, right? So use the 100 an hour as just a baseline number, and then that'll tell you how much you're studying. So if you study 10 hours a week, it'll take you 10 weeks, which is not a lot. You should do a lot more than 10 hours a week. All right. Can a project charter be shared by any stakeholder? A project charter should be a public document. All right. Crystal says she used my exams third party. Hey, guys, I am working. Here's some news for everyone. I am working on a brand new set of practice questions to update my practice question course. It's going to come in about 2 weeks, all right? So I've been using my phone, and I write a lot on my phone. I've been using this, and I'm writing some brand new practice questions, but it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks. It's going to be about 600 really good questions, like really mimics the current exam. So give me some time, and I'll announce it in a few weeks, and you guys will get access to it. It's going to be the best practice question out there, because I know a lot of the practice engines, a lot of them still have questions from the older exams, because you remember something, the older exam used Pmbok 6. This new exam still used Pmbok 6. So it's not like the questions are outdated, but we got to up our Agile questions. We got to get more of those Agile questions. I got to include a lot. Like, for example, I don't really have questions on MBTI, so we're going to include some of that now. So give me about 2 weeks, and you guys are going to see an update, and I'll let you guys know coming soon. All right, so hopefully that's exciting news for you guys. All right. Somebody says, it's been said that the 2021 is situational. The book, the prep course, I do mention in the course to know your 49 processes. I don't think you have to write them down, not anymore. But just know your 49 processes. Don't memorize them. All right. Somebody says, passed yesterday. TGH says, passed yesterday. Andrew, your materials really helped me. Use the book, the online course, and live sessions, also the Prepcast and Agile Guide. The mindset the day before was extremely helpful. Somebody had asked me, I think Grace or someone was asking me this, what to do the day before. I said, watch the mindset section the day before. I think you really need to go in knowing that mindset, right? If you know the mindset, I think the exam is relatively easy. So TGH, congratulations. Make sure to get some cake. Let me know what type of cake you're getting, okay? Congratulations. Large weight off your shoulders, right? Thank God for that. By the way, you know what? I've been losing subscribers, and I don't like that. You guys are passing your exams, and then you're leaving me, and you're never coming back. I'm going to put some videos out. I got a new video topic coming up on certifications to do after your PMP. I'm going to try to add more content to my channel, and not just for PMP. Maybe some good project management content here and there. I know a lot of people know me for PMP, so don't unsubscribe when you guys pass, please. All right, another person here. Mansouri says, hey, Andrew, really appreciate I've passed my exam with 3 above targets. Hey, congratulations once again. Don't forget to get the cake and the beer, right? If you drink beer, that'll be good. One question, if you mark a question with the answer review later, answer is correct. I don't know what this is saying. One query, if we mark the question with the answer for review later, 2 scenarios. 1, the answer is correct. 2, the answer is incorrect. What happens if 1 does not get it? When you're doing your exam, I'm not sure what you're saying there. When you're doing your exam and you mark a question for you, first of all, never leave a question blank. Always answer the question. Always. You come to a question, I don't care if you say eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You select an answer before leaving it. You never know if you have time to come back to it, ever. So you mark a question for review, and you just keep going. When that's set, remember, if you watch the video from yesterday, the exam is broken into 3 sets, 60, 60, 60. So when you come to the end of that set, you can go back and review it. if you don't get to review it, if you leave it blank, it's going to be wrong, right? That's why I said don't leave it blank. If you submit it and you move on, then maybe you got it right. That's what you want to make sure you answer it. All right. All right. Somebody says, I didn't take, I wish I did. I took I don't know what PMA is. I don't know what that is. They were updating their thing. Yeah, I guess people are still updating. That's fine. All right. BB Yam Jr. B. Bio. I mispronounced your name. Did you says I passed my exam. This was the most useful resource. Hey, thank you. Thank you for saying that. And congratulations. Don't forget to get the cake. Super congratulations on that. Large weight off of your shoulder. All right, somebody is asking me a good question. Antonia asked me, I think I missed this. How do you use, so this is a common question I get, by the way. If you buy my book, right? If you purchase my book, this one, remember this comes with the 35 hours. And one of the common questions I get, people ask me is, how do I use the book with the video? So let me just make something really clear. What I did in 35 hours, because PMI wants 35 hours. You guys don't know how painful it was to make 35 hours of content. Oh my God. It's each video sometimes takes 20 shots to get right. And the videos has a ton more content than the book has. What I would tell you to do is you can read the book and then watch the video. But most of my students watch the videos, then follow up with the book. The book is an amazing condensed version of those videos. So use the book as more of a condensed version. I mean, you could read the book. I've had people just read this book and pass this exam. But if you got to get the 35 hours, you got to watch the videos. Any which way, you're going to have to watch the videos to get those 35 hours. So make sure, I would say watch the videos. If you're doing it just for your 35 hours, well, you got to watch the videos, then follow up with the book. That would be the best thing to do. All right. Somebody says it helps to read the choices first. If you watch my exam tips, I do tell people read the choices first. That's a good tip. That's an old exam tip. Read the choices, run through the choices, then go through the question. Somebody says, I did not think I would pass, but they got above target. You don't know how many people say that. All right. The group I was talking to last week that took the live class and passed their exams, a lot of them told me that. It's just the way this exam is. Are there questions on the exam that tells you how to interpret a burn down chart? Yes, there are a lot of Agile questions. You should study that. Somebody says they listened to me at 1.75 speed. Ooh, that's pretty quick. I'm gonna sound like a chipmunk at that point. That sometimes I watch myself on slow speed, and it's pretty funny. It's like I'm drunk out of my mind. I thought that was pretty funny. Somebody says, hey, Andrew, I purchased your Udemy course, and they got my ACP videos. Yes. So the PMP exam was never really Agile before. And when they brought the Agile content in this year, as I was going through it, I realized, hey, this is almost everything from the ACP. So I put all the ACP videos in there. Stick with it. You're in the right course. I have had so many people tell me that my Agile section is top notch. It's one of the best. And I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm pretty sure there are others that are probably better. But my Agile section is very good from that ACP exam. That ACP exam really covers Agile well. So stick with it. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it. It's a really good section. I had a lot of fun making it. I like Agile. If you watch me teach it, you can see I'm more excited. If you watch me teach my courses, you'll notice I was more excited to teach the Agile than I was of Pmbok. I love Agile stuff. So you stick with it. You are in the right course. And it is. I just took the Agile and I put it there. All right, that's fine. Somebody says, do I have to read Pmbok? I recommend to read Pmbok, but a lot of people are not even picking up Pmbok and passing this exam. If you have the right mindset, you know the mindset well, you'll be fine. But I'm not going to tell you not to read Pmbok. If that's what you're asking, no, I'm not going to say that. How do you answer questions quickly? Kimberly, that's a good question. How are we going to be able to answer questions quickly? Kimberly says, I know the average time per question should be a little over a minute. Is there any tip to get through the questions quicker? The only way to get through the question quicker is try to read it as fast as possible. One of the tips I do mention is to, if you follow through in the study guide, you'll notice that I say things like make sure that you can try reading the choices first and then read the question itself. That seems to help a lot of students increase the speed at how they're answering the question. Other than that, it just comes back to your understanding. One of the things that slows us down is when we don't have that understanding of what they're trying to ask. So sometimes our lack of knowledge would lead us to being slowed down. I know personally when I'm answering a question, and I don't know it well, I gotta really sit there and say, hey man, am I knowing this right? I'm not sure what they're talking about. I gotta read it again. So sometimes my own lack of knowledge can slow me down. So Kimberly, my recommendations to you is try to up your knowledge. Try reading the choice first, and you can notice yourself, right? So if you get to questions you know well and you go through them just like that, then maybe you're lacking a little bit of knowledge. Beef up your knowledge a little bit more. The Agile Practice Guide goes down quick. Crystal, thank you. That's correct. I do recommend reading that book, reading the Agile Practice Guide. How do you get the video? You can get the video. You can purchase my study guide. You can get the Udemy course. You can buy our live class. I'm taking the PMP bootcamp course from a different institution, but I'm not satisfied. I'm sorry, but that, Erica, sorry, I'm not sure what to tell you. Our bootcamp courses here at TIA, we make sure the bootcamp goes through Technical Institute of America. That is the official training course from PMI, and my instructors are all good. Hopefully you guys think I'm a good instructor too. So it happens, I guess. Erica says that she wants to supplement the course she's doing now with my course. Yeah. So if you purchase my book and get my e-learning stuff or whatever, you can, if you're not using it for the 35 hours, you don't have to watch the entire thing. What I would recommend to people is at least watch the Agile section, watch the mindset, watch the ECO review. So if you're not using it for the 35 hours, then you don't have to sit there for all 35 hours unless you want to. My new mock exam has 600. Yeah, it's going to have 6. Then the new mock exams that I'm working on is going to be a new course. It's going to be pretty cheap, and it's going to be a book too. It's going to be about 600 questions, plus some of the ones I have here. So it's going to be nearly 1,000. It's going to be more than you ever need. The new mock exam I'm making, I'm telling you guys, is going to be the best on the market. Nothing like it. Because it's not just me. I'm working with some of my other trainers, some of my other trainers here at TIA, and it's being reviewed, and we're using a few different, all the sources that PMI listed on their website. We purchased almost all of those books. If you notice, there are 10 different sources that PMI lists to get their content from for the PMP exam. We have them all now. I only had about 4 or 5 of them. Now I have them all. And I've reviewed them all over the last couple of weeks. And then we're going to make some pretty cool questions. But give me a little while for that. Would that be available on? Yeah, it will. Coming soon. Coming soon. It'll update the current one. And if you have my current practice exam course from Udemy, you guys can check that out. It's pretty cheap. Purchase it now. You'll see the new one come later. It's gonna update that Udemy course. So it's not a new course. It's just gonna update that one. Can I use it? If you purchase my PMP course, can you use it for the ACP course? Yes, you could. Citric says, I'm getting answers wrong, but the second answer is correct. I'm not sure what that means. They have ACP questions. They're very similar to PMP questions now, so you can just use PMP questions for now. If not, my ACP course track guy has the that particular question. A study plan. What is my recommendation for a study plan? So my recommendation for a study plan is going to be make sure read whatever study guide you got. You know, whoever you buy your study guide from. Ideally, you buy it from me, but whoever. Review your 35-hour class, whoever you got that from again. Whether it's a live class, whether it's an e-learning class, whoever you get that from. That'll give you a good background knowledge. Review the Agile practice guide. This is just studying, right? Then do a lot of practice questions, whether you get my Udemy practice questions. Maybe you get some third-party practice questions. And that's it. That's all your study plan is. And right before you walk in the exam room, once again, review the mindset section. I think you're going to be okay. Would the Agile section in my book be sufficient since it's more condensed in the video? Yes, it's really just a condensed form of what's in those videos. But you know what? You probably still want to watch those videos because they're really good. You're going to learn a lot. Remember something, guys. When you're studying for this exam, just don't study to pass the exam. Make sure that you study to learn something, right? So watch those Agile videos. They're really good for real life. Somebody says here, Pmbok stinks. Well, I don't know if it stinks or not, but Pmbok stinks. I hear you. I just took the exam and 75% of the questions were you're the project manager, Agile, Scrum, or software, and except what should the project manager do? Yeah, remember something, guys. Pmbok was never an exam content guide, right? It's something I explained when I first wrote my first PMP book. It was never an exam book. It was a book to help you manage a project. It was a book to give you that foundations to manage a project. Somebody says, hey, Andrew, I have your Udemy, not the ACP. Does the PMP class have the Agile stuff? Yes, it does. Now it does. All right. Somebody says, if you're running out of time, just read the last line and you should be okay to pick a good answer. Not sure if that's a good tip. Just be careful. You know, watch the timer. Watch the clock. Come on, you guys should watch the clock. $600 questions is more than enough. Yeah, I'm going to probably add some more, but I think you guys are going to... 600 questions is a lot, guys. All right. Somebody's got a matching questions on the... Kristen says you got a matching questions on the MBTI, correct? That's what I've seen a lot of people get that. One suggestion, I'm not sure. Is software development, project management one of the book? It goes very deep in that. You know what, Paul? A lot of books are really, especially software development, is going to go a lot into Agile. How much is my course on Udemy? Check on Udemy. Udemy fluctuates that price all the time. Check on there. All right. Somebody else says here, hey, Andrew, thankfully, I cleared my PMP last week. Your videos did help gaining confidence. Confidence without your book and the PM practice, we have to clear it up. Big thank for sharing the code. Yes. Very good. Congratulations, buddy. Make sure to get a piece of cake. Welcome to the PMP club, right? Super congrats. I always love to hear you guys pass. What process and knowledge areas the change log created it? That's creating integration of the process and the pick process, perform integrated change control. The change log comes from there, right? It's updated there. It comes from there. It's never actually mentioned. If I can't remember Pmbok specifically where that's created. Like if it comes out of a particular process. I don't think so. Andrew, is there a way to purchase the new questions? Just go on Udemy, get the current PMP practice questions I have there right now. It'll be added there. You'll get it soon. What do I think of Google Project Management Professional Certificate? Is there such a thing? Nia is saying, NII. I've never heard of that. Google has a Project Management Professional Certificate? I didn't even know it did. That's news to me. Is it credible? Well, Google is a giant organization. I'm going to look that up. All right. Look that up after class. I don't know. It has no credibility right now, I think, but maybe it wouldn't. It's Google, for God's sake. Maybe, I don't know. So when you pay for the PMP, it contains the Agile. Yes, it does. All right. How much time should I study to pass my exam? 8 weeks, 10 weeks? You know what, guys? Just 100 hours, Mike. If you're just joining us, just review. Early in the video, somebody asked me how long should I study. I mentioned 100 hours. And then that'll tell you how many weeks. After you submit your application, you have 1 year to take your exam. All right, somebody says I had 40 questions left. Would only okay, so you passed the exam. I remember you reading that. And you said I had 40 questions left and only 5 minutes left. So I had to pick my answers based on the last slide. Oh my God. 40 questions and 5 minutes left. That is some really poor time management. But congratulations, you did pass. Wow, that means you did very well in the beginning of 40 questions is a big chunk of your exam. It's like 20% of your tests. Over 20% of your exam. And that means that you really did well on those first 140 questions. So congratulations. Yeah, I think you would have probably gotten half of those questions correctly, probably. But congratulations, all right? MBTI is a personality test. Check my video content here. I did a video on it a few weeks ago. Montreal, welcome to our study group here. All right. If you bought my Udemy course a while back, it's been fully updated. If you bought it 4 months ago or 5 months ago, it never expires. It just keeps getting updated. God forbid somebody fails. Can they take it again? Yes, they could. If you start it within 90 days and you don't finish it, you can just reopen it and start it again. Don't worry about that. Okay, guys, I have answered everybody's questions. Let's get to practice questions of the night here. Look at that. We got over 100 folks joining us tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. By the way, don't forget to like the video. Come on, guys. I put a lot of time into this. Give me some likes here. Did you guys put some likes on here? All right, let's do some practice questions. Somebody says, I took my exam today, did not pass. Supplement to my original course. Well, sorry to hear that. Don't feel bad. You know what? I failed a lot of exams myself. You know what? Keep studying a little bit. Review the mindset section. Review your Agile. I think you're going to be okay. Tara says, what kind of issue, this is a good question, what kind of issues would require for a PM to escalate a matter to the sponsor, PM, or executive level? You know, I think you'd have to do a lot of analysis first. Never push things up to high-level people first. Do all the analysis, review all your options, and then go to them for an option. So if you're doing a question where it's like they have solved the problem, not solved, they have a major problem, and here are some solutions to solve the problem, then have senior management select one. I think that would be the best thing. If you did a 35-hour course many years ago, it's still valid today. All right, you don't need to do another one. I don't think the 35 hours ever expire. But I would recommend for you to do a new one, a new 35-hour course. So you have, 6 years ago, it was a vastly different content. There was Pmbok version 5, I think. Wesley says, I took my exam and passed a week ago. Congratulations, Wesley. Congratulations. Don't forget to get the cake. All right, don't forget the cake. Is your book enough to get through the PMP? I hope so. I think so. Yes, it is. Just go through the videos. It comes with a lot of videos. Watch the videos, the mindset, the mindset, the ECO review, the Agile sections. Okay, guys, let's do some practice questions here, guys. I know a lot of you guys are waiting on that. Let's do some practice questions. All right, so we got 10 practice questions. What I did do, though, I've had a lot of people that was taking the exam over the last couple of days, and they told me they got a lot of interpretations of some formulas. So I decided to put a couple of those in here today. So let's go ahead and Wesley, cake and beer, I'm with you. That sounds good right about now. Maybe I'll have a beer after this. Okay, let's take a look, guys. Practice question number 1. Once again, guys, put the answers in the box. Let's see if you guys got this mindset down and if you guys can get these correct. So, a team member is very frustrated by the constantly changing requirements of a few key stakeholders. The team would like fewer changes to the project. What should the project manager do first in this situation? A. Inform the key stakeholders to stop asking for changes. B. Revise the change management process. C. Meet with the team to understand what changes are causing the frustrations. And D. Stop accepting all changes for a short period. What answer do you guys have? What answer do you guys have? Somebody asked me, is the mindset in my Agile course? Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some good tips here. I was writing these questions and I was writing out some good tips, so I wanted to go over them with you guys. So the answer here is C. So there's a couple things here that we need to remember. Where is my pen? Is my pen not working for me tonight? Oops, you know what? I got to put on my pointer option. There we go. Okay, so a couple quick thing here is that it says what you're going to do first. So remember something. Once again, the PMP mindset. The first thing you do is never just take action like that, right? So if your first thing is to go stop accepting all changes, that's never an option. You never do that. First of all, any time you get any question on this exam, where it's something about stop accepting changes is never an answer. So we're going to cross that one out. All right. That's never going to be an answer. The other thing here, it says inform the key stakeholder to stop asking for changes. This is almost the same thing as D. So you're never going to do that. Remember on your exam, denying change or stop accepting changes is never an answer. So anytime you see those, just eliminate them right off the bat. It says it first in the situation. Don't make a change. Don't go and change something. Don't take an action like that. Revising the change management plan, maybe that's something you're going to do after a meeting with the team, right? So just don't take action like that. Keep in mind, you're going to see a lot of on the exam, a lot of that thing. What are you going to do first? Question number 2. Somebody says, how about your mock exam with the 720 Udemy? That's the one we're going to be updated on, okay? So you can get that one. It'll get updated later. On a hybrid project, the team has completed a sprint and the customers are not happy with the errors in the deliverable. Where should the project manager work with the team to prevent these errors from happening again? A, the sprint planning meeting, sprint review meeting, retrospectives, or the change control. Somebody says here, what should be the first step with your PMP prep? Getting a 35-hour class, right? Getting that 35-hour, going through it. That should be a first step. Getting a good study guide. Maybe take a look at my study guide. Going through that so you can start being familiar with the process, being familiar with the terms, being familiar with all that stuff. All right, what did you guys have? So here is good exam tips once again, guys. The answer is, of course, C. So the first thing up, prevent. Quick tip, when you're doing an Agile project, where does the team review how to fix things? Not really during the sprint. During the sprint, the daily stand-up meetings are going to be done generally to fix issues that was happening right there during the sprint itself. The sprint review meetings will lead to more of a corrective fix right now action. But when the team is sitting down doing a retrospective, this is going to be more of those preventive actions that we can implement that prevent things from happening again. On your exam, any question that talks about where the team should be coming up with methods to fix things in future sprints, prevent errors or problems in future sprint, and coming up with ways and methods to enhance their techniques in future sprints, the answer is retrospectives. All right, remember that. It's a good exam tip. The sprint planning meeting would tell them what to do in the next sprint. The sprint review meeting is what they're going to use what the team will do in order for the customers to review what they made. And the change control process to manage changes on a traditional project. Now it said spring. You know what? It should say sprint. Sorry guys. That is my fast writing on the Grammarly thing. That's why I said I write them with the phone. That's a good one. All right, let's take a look at practice question number 3. A key stakeholder is not happy with the progress of the project. The SPI is 1.2 and the CPI is 0.76. The project manager has scheduled a meeting with the team. What should the PM and the team discuss during the meeting? Good question. Somebody's asking me, is a sprint review and a demo the same? Yes, that's when the team demos it for them. I want to say the same, but that's where they generally do the demo. Methods and ways to fix. So they got an SPI of 1.2, CPI of 0.6. What should the PM and the team discuss during the meeting? A, methods and ways to fix the project schedule. B, methods and ways to fix the project scope. Methods and ways to fix the budget. Methods and ways to fix the schedule and the budget. What do you guys have once again? All right, so you guys got a lot of people here. If it's got C, okay, guys, remember for your exam, SPI 1.2 is always a good thing. 1.2 would be that the project is 20% ahead of schedule. 0.76 it would mean that the project is 24% behind over budget. So you know this project is not doing good on budget. You should expect a few questions, not a lot, on your exam that makes you interpret SPI and CPI. Also be able to interpret CV, SV on your exam also. Those seems to be the ones that they're asking. All right, practice question number 4. During a sprint, a key stakeholder has informed the PM a team member will be joining the project to help complete the project sooner. What should the PM do in this situation? Inform the stakeholder the new team member can join after this, once again, sprint is completed. Allow the team member to join immediately to speed up the work. Ask the team member if a new member is allowed to join and review the team member's qualifications. What answer did you guys have? All right, this is going to be a tricky question, okay? You want to make sure you know the rules of Agile, right? You got to remember the rules of Agile. So Agile has a little bit of rules. I did go over this in the book. I did go over this in the course. This one has a little bit of rules that you want to follow. All right, so we got some A's, we got some D's, we got some C's, A, D, and C. What should the project manager do in this situation? Okay, you got to know the rules of Agile. And during an Agile, it is never advised to change the team during the sprint. So it says, now some people say D. Now D is a decent answer. But it says will be joined. That means this guy will be joining the team. It's not like you have to review his qualifications and then say whether or not to join or not. The only time you may review qualifications is if you're going to say, okay, well, should he or should he not join? The question is saying they will be joining. So this kind of eliminates D. The best thing you can do right now is leave the team. Let them do the work. Because during Agile, during that sprint, you don't want to change the team, because if you add a new team member, it messes up the velocity of the team. And this is one of the things that that Agile doesn't like. Question number 5. A significant issue has arisen during a sprint that could cause a delay in the work. A few stakeholders are requesting this be addressed immediately. What should the PM do in this situation? Meet with the stakeholder and ask for solutions. Research and select a solution to the issue for the team to implement. Meet with the team and have them resolve the issue and implement a fix. Alert the stakeholders this issue will take a few weeks to fix. All right, what answer did you guys get? What answer do you guys have? So we got some problems here in this. Some more of... All right, the answer here is C. When issues arise on a project, it's best to have the team fix them. Okay, the answer in this particular one, anytime there is a problem on the project and they're asking for a solution, there's a couple, here are some quick points. This comes from the mindset section. First of all, never go out and ask for solutions unless it's the team. Solutions should come from the team. They're the best. They know the problems. They have the knowledge to fix the actual problem. So that makes C, of course, the correct answer. Now, meet with the stakeholders and ask for a solution. Mindset. Never ask anyone outside the team for a solution, ever. Research and select a solution. Mindset. You're not supposed to be selecting the solution. Let the team select the solution. Alert the stakeholders this issue will take a few weeks to fix. Mindset, never delay fixing anything. Okay? Never delay anything. On your exam, you get any choice that says delay this, it's never the answer. All right, remember that. Question number 6. A vendor has alerted the PM a few of the supplies will be delivered late. This is the third time deliveries has been late delivery. What should the PM do first in this scenario? Review the procurement management plan. Inform the vendor you'll be using a new for future supplies. Call the vendor to find out what the issue is. Call the shipping company to understand why it is being delayed. What are we going to do, guys? What should the PM do first? What should the PM do first in this scenario? You guys noticed that I got the 6 C's going on. That's a good one. Yes. I was doing the practice question. I was like, okay, let's see. Let me trip them up a little bit. But you guys got this. All right. So this is why everybody's passing on the exam. I think that the mindset, you guys all got C's. You guys are like, okay, it's going to be C again. What should you do first in this situation? So you guys are like 6 C's in a row. I see a lot of people here has got C. But guys, I was going through this and I made the question. I said to myself, is it really going to be C this time? But it's not. So this is a tricky question. In this particular one, you're having an issue with a vendor. If you're having an issue with a vendor, you have to say, so it really comes down to, first of all, forget B. B is garbage because B is getting a new vendor. That's taking a drastic action. You're really left with A, C, and D. Now, C is a good answer. Call the vendor to find out what the issue is. But I think the best answer here would be to review the procurement. The procurement management plan will tell you how to manage your vendors. And maybe the vendor, there is a certain procedure you have to follow in your organization to manage that vendor. Here's a quick tip for your exam. One of the first things we should do is always review if the choices have management plans in them. Remember something, a management plan tells you how to manage a project. It'll say how to do those execution, how to select a vendor, how to deal with the issues of the vendor, how to manage a scope, right? Scope management plan, how to manage a budget, cost management plan, and so on. So the procurement management plan will tell you how to do that. So you want to review that first before calling the vendor. Because what happens if you call the vendor and the vendor gives you some things or some problems, you're not sure to respond to it. Hopefully the management plan tells you how to. So that's why you want to review that first. You got to be careful. You got to be careful when it comes to that. All right. This one here, obviously, you might have C as an answer, but you got to choose 3. An organization is moving from traditional to agile. What are some of the new meetings will the company be doing? Retrospective, sprint planning meeting, sprint review, sprint planning, sprint review, and cost planning. All right, somebody says, I got a similar one to this on the exam, but did not involve answers. How should we prioritize what the PM should do next? When a PM is doing something next, they should be actually reviewing something, checking something, or meeting someone. The first thing you want to do is review your plan. Remember something, your plan tells you how to do something. So those management plans are really important. A, C, and D. Okay, guys, A, C, and D. I thought this was a pretty easy one. A, C, and D. Guys, question number 8. By the way, these are all, if you study Agile, you should know this. Question number 8. After consulting several groups of Smes, a project manager gets 3 duration estimates from 3 groups, 29 days, 46, and 18 days respectively. What is the estimated development duration for the new product? All right, let's see if you guys remember your formulas. You will have to do a calculation on this one. Although I don't think the exam is going to have you do a question like this anymore. All right, guys, what answer do you guys have? All right, take a few minutes. You're going to have to do some calculations. Yeah, I don't think, you might not get any type of calculated questions on your exam. Okay, guys, time is up. Let's take a look at the answer here. And the answer here is if you work out the problem, it should have brought you to 30. This is a PERT formula. All right, so just make sure you review your PERT sections in there. All right, make sure you go through your formulas in there, guys. I think that's going to be really important to go through. A lot of people are not getting formulas, but you never know, you might get. Question number 9. The project sponsor is very upset that he was not invited to a few meetings. The sponsor wanted to give inputs to the new product development. How should the PM do first in this situation? Develop a risk register. Consult the stakeholder engagement plan. Create a communication management plan. Prepare work breakdown structure. All right, what did you guys get? So we have a problem here. This guy is not invited. By the way, on your exam, there is a built-in calculator that you can use. Okay, guys, the answer here. By the way, this is a good question. Somebody says in the previous one, why did we choose PERT and not a different estimation? Always remember this. Somebody, Auto Hammer is the screen name. Anytime you get a question that deals with a 3-point estimate and it doesn't specify whether to use triangular or PERT itself, always use the default PERT formula, which is the one we just saw, the 4 times the medium number plus the optimistic and pessimistic divided by 6. That's the default PERT formula. Always use that one. All right. What should they do first in this situation? Somebody says, I got this question on the exam. Consult the stakeholder engagement plan. Now, the stakeholder engagement plan is basically going to say that this is how they want to be engaged on the project. This is how they should be doing the meeting. Now, remember something. You shouldn't be creating a communication management plan. The communication management plan is really going to say when the communications are going to be done. But this person is just not being engaged. They feel like they're not engaged on the project. All right, guys, very good. Let's do one quick drag and drop on this one. All right, let's do a quick drag and drop, guys. Drag the definitions to the meanings. All right, so we're going to drag one of these definitions to some of the meanings we have here. Okay, what do you guys have? Just go ahead, take a few minutes, read the definitions, drag these here. Guys, go ahead and drag those in there. Okay, guys, a lot of you guys are getting this. I thought this was pretty easy myself. Okay, seems like everybody's got a pretty decent answer. All right, let's go through this, guys. So, a visual boards to display project progress in a public location is going to be an information radiators. So on an Agile project, an information radiator is generally a big board or a big sign. Ideally, remember low tech, high touch, whiteboard or something with sticky notes, big sticky notes on them. That way people can just walk by and see the progress or see what has to get done. What shows the completion rate of the team? That's going to be your velocity chart. The velocity chart will show you how fast the team is working. Shows the actual results compared to the plan work. This will be your variance reports. All right, very good. Okay, guys, that is all the questions I got for tonight. Okay, so let's see here. Somebody says to me, Nelson says, I got some matching questions. Didn't get any matching questions. It was this easy. Well, next week I have to make some harder ones. All matching questions I got show terms on one side, and on the other side, you have to match it with a situational. All right. Okay, guys, very good. If you know your definitions, you're going to be fine. All right, guys. Can earplugs be worn if I take the exam at home? Ram, that's a good question. I don't know that. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Okay, guys, don't forget. Did you guys like the video, guys? Did you guys do that? Did you guys like the... come on, we're only up to 53 likes. Come on, guys. Burn down charts and velocity charts. Burn down charts shows the rate of work getting done or how much work is left to be done or how much work was done. A velocity chart will show you how fast the team can get work done. Velocity chart to say they did 20 points in this iteration, they did 30, they did 25, they did 28. So this velocity chart helps the team to know how much work they can get done in the next iteration. It's predicting their velocity. Somebody says, is there any other time you can do your sessions? Unfortunately, sorry, guys. I teach during the day, and I have a business to run during the day. So there's no way, it's just tonight. I actually teach a Monday, Wednesday night class. You guys all know me for a PMP person, but I actually teach a lot of IT security stuff. So I teach security classes on Monday and Wednesday night. Particularly the CISSP, and I also teach hacking courses. See the hacking mask behind me? Because I do a lot of ethical hacking stuff. You get the champagne ready for passing your exam on Sunday. Hey, you guys make sure to friend me on LinkedIn, please. You guys send me a LinkedIn invite when you pass. I want to know, okay? And then take a picture of that champagne, send it to me. Tara, good luck. Make sure to let us know. By the way, once again, when you guys pass your exam, like you see others tonight, come back, let us know how you did. Even if you didn't pass, let us know. Let us know. And you know what I want you guys to do? You know what? What I want you guys to do is always come back. Let us know what I could do to improve my courses. Right? Give me some feedback. If you guys are on LinkedIn, send me a LinkedIn invite. If you took the exam and there's deficiencies in my courses, let me know. I'm glad to fix it. Hey, continuous improvement for all of us. I know some people tell me, "Well, Andrew, your grammar is a little bit bad." Yeah, I know that. My grammar is horrible. I had a problem speaking. I didn't speak till I was very late in life, till I was like 4 or 5, I think my mother said. And I have a stuttering problem. And English to me just never clicked. It never made sense to me. I'm very good at math, but so I always tell people, hey, excuse the grammar. I know a lot of grammar kings and queens. They always kill me. Sorry, guys. But I'm trying. All right, I'm trying. All right. Okay, so guys, thank you guys for showing up. All right, hopefully, let's see if it's 2 a.m. in Paris. Let's see if you guys come back next week. I'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. Good luck to all of you guys taking your exam in the next week. I'll see you guys next week. Study hard. For those of all of you that pass, congratulations. Don't leave my channel. Don't unsubscribe. I will be posting some new content coming up a little bit later for people that have already passed, because there's just a lot of people now. And I will see you guys next week. Somebody says, oh, hold on, I got one more question here. Somebody says the PMP said the 720. Yes, you guys can check that. I'm going to be updating that with the new set of questions. Very well done. Winsome. Winsome says my book is a gem. Thank you, Winsome. By the way, Winsome, can you leave a review for my book on Amazon? I'll greatly appreciate that. Guys, thank you, guys. Have a good weekend, guys. Have a good week. I'll see you guys next week. Next week, guys. Next week.